Hello, my fellow weirdos. Um, so 10 Democrats lost their backbone and voted with the Republicans. I will be obtaining that list, and you don't bend the knee in advance. This is what Joe Mika did as soon as he got elected, and of MSNBC, and the Democrats that in the Senate, those 10 Democrat senators, I will make sure I reach your states. And I will make sure they remember what you did. If we have a 26 election. The Congress is not going to be the ones that save us alone. The courts will not be the ones that save us alone. We, you, and me, are the ones that need to speak up and give that momentum behind the the Democratic Congress people, and make that voice so the judges and justices hear it loud and clear. You need to fight. There's a lot of us that have been fighting for years, even before the last midterms. A lot of us, we're tired. Those who make graphics all the time, that's tiring. It's not just playing. It's not just drawing, okay? It's not just copy pasting. If it was that easy, then all of you should try that. Also, if it's, anybody can get in front of a camera and just talk what they think. Really? Then how many millions of people that are Democrats are in this country, how come that many people are in front of their cameras? Because you're not all doing that. Not by any majority. So when you say, anybody can make a video or anybody can write something and post it. Well, how come you aren't? If you all could do it, then do it. Do it. And that's not a challenge. That's, if you think you can do it, then why don't you help us out and do it? One of the reasons I decided to do the politics, because there's enough of the left that are larger, like the Brian Tyler Cohen, Midas Touch, and then there's the still well-known but lesser, like the Parker Get a Job, Adam Mockler, Luke Beasley group. One of the reasons is because I bring in people that, when you're doing a journalistic type of news thing, you'll notice most people dress neutrally. Their voices are usually a neutral, range. The backgrounds are very neutral, kind of boring. And the reason people do that is so you don't get distracted by everything else, like there, and looking at that and you're not paying attention. However, that is how a lot of neurodivergent folks concentrate. Much like one of the things that for ADHD is to give them caffeine. And you're like, they're already caffeine. What do they need more energy for? Because what it does is it overloads the system and forces it into a reboot. And it's kind of the same Same idea. I was just looking at Raspy taking his nap. So when you see the cats, when you see the color, when you see, because I need color, my hair and stuff, color, animals, and plant life, nature is what I need around me to breathe. That's why I'm in garden apartments, not apartments, because I need that around me to breathe. A lot of neurodivergent folks either need to it for it's funny because exactly what happens why most people work better with a neutral background because they have to pay attention to the speaker. A lot of us, we're doing something else while we're listening to people speak because our brain is so you know our brain is so overwhelming itself anyway with thoughts that we need that extra punch of over stimuli type of thing to be able to do that zone in thing that like people on the spectrum can do, that hyper focusing and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm finding I've actually had a few people tell me this, that they find it easier because I'm animated, and I'll be like, excuse me, that type of thing. And it keeps their senses engaged more instead of going into that monotone, which for neurodivergent people, some of us, that's like the blue screen, death. That monotone, it really, I've had to back up and back up and back up to re-listen to a little section because my mind went, ooh. That's hard when you're trying to get information from one area and translate it for people in my area, and you guys. And I have to keep forcing myself back into, pay attention, this is important. And it's not that what you're listening to isn't important necessarily, it's just, that's just the way our brains work. They're just too damn busy. So, if you have not really spoken up yet and you're a Democrat, you're like, I can't do videos. Or maybe it's where you have clients or customers that are on social media and you don't want to. I get that. So you're like, well, I can't do videos, and I'm really not, a video maker. And I don't like how I look on camera or in pictures 99% of the time, so and I don't know how to make graphics or little poster things. I don't know how to do that. That's fine. Can you use a phone? Use that 5 apps. We need people because, like I said, the courts and the House of Representatives and the Senate is not going to save us here. They have such a slim majority right now. You have a couple turncoats and it F's it up. Now I know the ones who voted for it thought that a shutdown of government was going to let Donald and Elon just run amok. It's kind of a situation like the Gaza. It's not like, oh, I hate the Palestinians, but the Hamas is horrible. It's not the people. It's the ones in charge of those groups that are being the dicks. I care about Palestinian people as much as I care about Israeli people. Okay? And I care about them as much as I care about us. But you're kind of damned if you do and damned when you don't. kind of situation. We're kind of where we are right now. It is up to us. Us. Me, you. You. It's up to all of us, guys. And I heard that. You just said, I can't protest. Can you help organize protests? Under an anonymous name. A lot of these groups let you post anonymously. So you don't have to make a fake profile to join the group. Can you do that? Can you maybe monitor the group? Maybe you're somebody like me who, is on disability, or you're retired, or whatever the reason, you don't have a job, or you do work but you don't have kids, so you have excess time. How about being a moderator for one of the groups there on Facebook? Because that's like the only social media that has groups. How about that? There's a lot of things you can do, and if you're somebody that doesn't have a lot of time but you have some excess money that you would want to, how about asking one of the leaders of those groups if maybe, like, for supplying postcards and being able to send them to everybody, to people, and they supplied that money. I mean, that's just an example, but maybe some of these groups need some supplies. Maybe they need sign supplies. You could go to one of the groups and say, hey, listen, I can't because of my job, and the time is limited, but I want to help the cause, and I know there's a lot of people like me, okay, there's a lot of people like me who want to protest, but I don't have a car to get there, and I have to know ahead at the beginning of a month so I can buy sign supplies, because I'm that limited of an income. It may go to zero now. So maybe you can supply sign poles and markers and poster boards or big pieces of cardboard, and you can bring those to somebody that runs a group or is in a group, so when they get to an event they can assemble it. Somebody bring a staple gun, and somebody like me, if I was ever able to get to a protest, I would need to bring my walker, which has a little seat, but underneath the seat is a little thing, so I could even carry shit like that. Tape, markers to fix things. But maybe somebody can't make a big sign because all they could afford was paper, a piece of card. How about something like that? Help the protesters if you can't do the protesting. It is up to we, the people. And we, the people, can make a damn bit of difference. When we speak up en masse, like they're doing this weekend. Man, I tried to get there today, this week. If there was somebody going there for the day to be back at night, because I got 2 cats, I would have been there. It's the same thing for the next one, April 5th. Anybody is going from Jersey, from like the Morris County area, and heading out there, and they're just going to come back late at night. If you don't mind a tag along, here I am. See, that's my problem. If I had a vehicle, I would so be at some of these things, especially the ones at the state capitol here in Trenton. Absolutely, I could have at least done that when they're doing the 50 states, 50 capitals, 50 protests. There are things you can do. There is things every single Democrat out there that is listening to me, that will listen to me, that has listened to me. All of you have something that can help the protest movement. Think outside the box. You can't go to the protest. You can't be seen and use your name, so you can't really do, a video per se, videos. You're not good at doing graphics. That's fine too. I self-taught for a couple years before the last 3 years, just kind of dabbling. Um, that's fine. How about helping to, you know, bring supplies for signs and such? Or how about bringing supplies like some water for when they get to the, because you're going to need stuff, or a bunch of little snacks you can carry in your pockets, energy bars or something. You know what I'm saying? There's things you can do to help those that are either going to the protests, or if you can't protest, if you can't do a videos, if you can't do that, there are still things you can do besides just thoughts and prayers. Because as you know from the Republican Party, thoughts and prayers do nothing. They didn't help the gun situation. They didn't. Thoughts and prayers haven't banned abortions nationally yet. And they've been praying for like how many, 10 years now. So I'm going for the ding. It didn't work. And I'm not dissing prayer. I'm just saying some things. The Bible does say God helps those who help themselves. It doesn't say, just kick back and let's just wait for God to fix every little thing that happens to me and to my world. No. Get your ass up. Do something to help. Either helping in the protesting one way or another, or helping those of us who are protesting. Do you know somebody who would be so good and would like to make videos, but they really don't have a good phone and they don't have a webcam? How about trying to get them something? Help them out. Maybe get them a webcam if you could afford it. If you know somebody who would be good at doing something like that and wants to do it. I mean, these are just out of the box. Some of them are like, that's crazy, Judy. But that is what happens. You think into the just whatever, however, and then you think, okay, well, that itself isn't going to work, but applying that idea in a different way might help. Do you see what I'm saying? Think outside the box of the just going to a protest. Wear red lipstick from now on, every day. Especially if you never wore lipstick. Eventually, somebody's gonna say, "Why are you wearing red? You've never worn lipstick before. What? Or you don't usually wear red. What's up with the red?" Say, "It's Red Lipstick Brigade. It's protest. This is my protest." Yeah. Take back our American flag. They've made it feel like, oh, if we have a flag, like me, when I worked on the elections, on election day, I was, if you remember, I had my hair was red, white, and blue. I really did dye it that way. But I was wearing, one brow was red and one eyebrow was blue. And I was wearing red, white, and blue. Now, people just automatically assumed, oh, she must be MAGA. No. Because that's called patriotic. People used to do that all the time on like President's Day. Not dye their hair, but I mean wear red, white, and blue. President's Day, 4th of July. Now it's like they've absconded with our symbolism and with the word patriot. Now it's like a dirty word. No, they've just misused the flag and misused the wording and things like that, and yet they cry like snowflakes. Oh, you took God's rainbow and made it gay against God. First he said, love everyone. Second, it just means all kinds, idiot. It's the same thing. Take back the red, white, and blue. If they see a bunch of people in red, white, and blue in a protest, we're obviously not MAGA. Because if you're a MAGA person and you're somebody who does dress MAGA, the only thing, if you're going to wear anything, it would be the stupid Mark of the Beast hat. Yes, I said that. It is up to us to make not just a splash, but a tsunami wave that hits Congress, and a tsunami wave of protest that hits DC, that hits MAGA, that hits SCOTUS. And the only way to get that is me, you over there, and I see you back there, and it depends on you as well. It's on our shoulders. Heavy weight be it, it is up to us to save American democracy. Guys, we have France, we have Canada behind us. Even though they're doing what they're doing it and apologizing to the blue Americans for doing it. Canada. Guys, I had to wipe my eyes. We have Germany, where Nazism ran amok behind the blue Americans. We have Ukraine knowing that the blue Americans want to help. We have Americans that have gone over there and volunteered, and they're fighting. They know it's not American people. The majority of us are not supporting any of this. The Canadians, the Mexicans, the French, the German, the Brits, they all know this. They know us. We're friends with you guys online. And if blue Americans, if you have not joined in protesting some way, get busy. Guys, I don't know what other person or what other team needs more encouragement than we're getting. It's like a mini 9/11, where all these countries were telling Americans, we're standing with you. We feel for you. They know it's just a smaller percentage that want this than don't want it. Damn it! Make sure they hear you. Speak up, because the time is now. We may not have, in 6 months I'll do it. You need to do it now. More than just speaking up on social media or posting a meme. Speak up. Do more. Does your country's stability matter to you? Does your current life mean anything to you? Is it valuable to you? Because if it is, and you haven't been actively speaking out in some way, you need to start. And if you have been, you gotta amp it up. You see, I am. Am I afraid I might get nailed, targeted, even though I'm a teeny tiny channel? Nope. I'm not immune, even though I'm a tiny channel. Nope. That's not a protection per se. Am I afraid? At times I do. At times I think, yeah, even though I'm a small channel, pretty damn loud. um, the way I look at it, is I don't have any kids at home that, you know, I'm beholden to, that depend on me. I don't have a job that depends on me because of my foot and back and wrist from that accident. I do have my 2 cats, and as long as they are taken care of and not put into a shelter, if somebody has to get arrested, wouldn't it be better somebody like that than somebody that has kids that need them at home, or a job that if they don't show up to before they get out, they could lose and then not be able to provide for their family, or something like that? Would it be better if that happened to them? No. And that's why I feel free to say fuck you, Elon, and fuck you, Donald, and fuck you, Republicans, because I don't have a sponsor. I don't have a job that can fire me, and he's gonna do whatever he's gonna do to anything programs I'm on, and I'm fighting that as hard as I can. But wouldn't it be better someone like me, who just needs somebody to take care of the cats for a couple days while I'm in jail, be better off than somebody who could lose a whole lot, their entire lives, kids or something? I mean, that's what gave me that final emboldening when I thought about, I'd rather have somebody like me be detained for a few days than somebody that has like responsibilities that can completely change their lives if they don't show up for a day or two for them. And so I speak out, and I'm this loud with my graphics too. I have written "fuck you" with neon script or neon text on black. Lime green, "fuck you, Elon." Fluorescent purple, "fuck you, Republicans." Fluorescent red, "fuck you, Trump," or "fuck you, Donald." He hates being called Donald. He does. Call him Donald instead of the T word. He hates it. And if you say it like Donald, I'm sure he'll hate it worse. Very judgmental. Well, Donald. Oh, here's something else you can do. If all of the things I said, every time somebody talks about Donald, about something Donald or Elon did, make sure you say, well, Donald and the Republicans, or Elon and the Republicans are just tearing. Make sure you put the Republicans in there when you mention any of them, either of those two, or Rubio or anybody else. Bondi, well, Bondi and the Republicans, make sure the Republicans know it's their fault. They're the reason. You need to keep reminding the public. Republicans, shut down the government. Republicans shut down USA. Not just Elon. You need to make the Republicans take responsibility for what their people are doing. And when you don't mention them and you just attack, you just say Elon or this person or that person, the Republicans can kind of like hide in your mind, because you don't have to remember that they're there because you didn't mention them. So they're separate from them, and they want to hide. Make them squirm. Make them take that credit. Every time you mention someone that's doing something under the administration, you mention Republicans. You force those little cowards to stand behind their person. You force them to shit or get off the fence by doing that. When you don't keep mentioning the Republicans are responsible, you let them off the hook, and you allow them, every time you do it, to slink a little more into the shadows, so eventually you don't see them. You just see the bad guys in front. You see what I'm saying? It's like the Homer Simpson gift of him slowly stepping behind the bush. That's what Republicans in the Congress are trying to do. Don't let them hide from their candidates. Peace out. And hey, Canada, eh?